Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So welcome to another market open stream. Today we got to talk about this new Bitcoin record broken. It seems to me every single week we get another spectacular data point that shows Bitcoin is stronger than ever. And today, another all-time record broken. So what is it? How relevant is it? Let's talk about it, and let's talk about what else is going on in the world today. Let's do this. Welcome, 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 guys. The market bell. It's still working, guys. After 5 years, the market bell is still working. All right, today we're starting off in the red. Actually, a few earnings from the banks that were pretty positive, but still today back in the red. Retail sales rose 0.7% September, much stronger than estimate. That's probably why, right? Again, why is strong retail sales causing the market to go down? It's because people are fearful of our Fed Chair Powell. They're afraid this is another reason for him to keep on raising rates. There's another one that's coming up in November. It's kind of iffy right now. It's like a 50-50 chance if he raises or just leaves it alone. So, yeah, that's why still we're unfortunate. I mean, I've been talking about this for over a year now. Unfortunately, we're living in a time where strong economic data for the U.S. leads to a market sell-off. And it shouldn't be like that at all. It should be the inverse. We're living in like inverse times right now. But I did say we got a couple banks that reported pretty good. Bank of America tops estimates. Goldman Sachs tops estimates. Doesn't seem to be helping their stock prices. Their prices are going down right now. Johnson & Johnson also beat earnings, although they're going down. And that's because pharmaceutical sales. Right? In the U.S., our pharmaceutical companies do not cure anything. That's why sales go up. They tackle the symptoms, but never cures the causes. That's how it works. And that's why. And probably from a lot of vaccines too. Anyways, so that's what happened this morning. But you know what? Bitcoin does not care about any of that. Bitcoin is still holding very strong above 28,000. 28.2 right now. We hit 28.4 or 28.5 this morning, came back down a little bit. Yesterday we went, of course, to 30,000 down, and then we peaked again about 28.8. But it does look like Bitcoin is still moving upwards. It's looking good, despite receiving false Bitcoin spot ETF approval news. Bitcoin continues forward. That's right. That's right. And nothing will change. Nothing will change that, and that's why there's a new record broken. But I did want to talk about this rumor, first of all. This came out not too long ago. So this Look on Chain tweet, they were questioning Vitalik, wondering if he was the cause of yesterday's pump. Maybe he became a market maker. So it looked like, according to this, that he received, Vitalik himself, Vitalik.eth, received about $15 million from Canro, which is like his, well, I'll explain who it is in a little bit. And then he deposited it into Gemini before the first surge of Bitcoin. And then he also deposited 500,000 of USDC into Coinbase 2 days ago. So it looks highly suspicious, right? Like maybe Vitalik just put all that into Bitcoin to pump it, or he knew it was going to pump. That's what, that's the rumor. But today it was revealed that no. Basically, that Canro it's a biotech charity, and that $15 million is to fund a grant. And Vitalik said, I haven't sold any ETH for personal gains since 2018. He clarifies and says, I may sell off periodically for charity or for initiatives, but for personal gain, I haven't sold anything since 2018. So he squashes that rumor altogether. So in case you guys were wondering, who's behind that pump? Or what is Vitalik doing, right? Not doing anything. He's just continuing to work on Ethereum. That's pretty much it. But what is this record that I'm referring to? What record did Bitcoin break? Well, it's one of those records that shows how strong Bitcoin is. No, it's not a hash record. I know a lot of people think, well, maybe the hash. I'm sure the hash record also went up. The miners just keep on mining. No, today we're talking about shark and whale addresses, okay? In fact, if you look at this, the number of addresses holding at least 10 Bitcoins, all-time high, past the all-time high set in 2019, okay? There are 157,000 wallets holding at least 10 Bitcoins. This is a really high milestone for most people. That means you're holding over $280,000 worth of Bitcoin. But here's the thing. Through DCA, it is possible. It seems like it's unfathomable for most people. I know before when I was living paycheck to paycheck and I had credit card bills and a mortgage and car loans, right? To think to have $260,000 worth of Bitcoin at that time seemed like it was virtually impossible. But I could tell you it can happen through slow accumulation, DCA over the years. And that's why you got to look at crypto winter as accumulation phase, right? Those that really want a DCA, they want time on their hands and they want prices to stay low. And that is kind of like the gift of crypto winter. From 2021 all the way down to the bottom of 2022. And then we stayed there for a very long time, all the way until earlier this year. But still, we're still low. Even to this day, we're not back to previous high yet, right? But if you do it slowly, week to week or bi-weekly or month to month, you can get there. A lot of people have become whole coiners. A lot of people now have more than one Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin, right? This is the time to be accumulating because right now 10 Bitcoins equals $280,000. In 5 years, 10 Bitcoins will probably be worth $2.8 million. You know, I mean, it's going to get much harder from here on out to DCA. This is already very high, but in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, it's never going to get this low again. The train has already left the station and is only accelerating right now, right? But this goes to show you a lot of people are stocking up and loading up Bitcoin, right? And if I showed you number of addresses holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin or 1 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin or 7 Bitcoin, they're all at all-time high right now. That shows you how strong the conviction and faith of the Bitcoiners are and shows you how strong Bitcoin is. When vast majority of the Bitcoins out there are held by long-term holders and have not been touched for years, right? That tells you something. So this is the new record, and I'm sure we'll form a lot more in the upcoming weeks and years. But again, this plays into what I've been saying all along. The growing fundamentals, okay? Bitcoin's fundamentals have never been stronger than now. And I could prove it. All right. Now, as for Bitcoin's price movement, I did say this morning, we started going up yesterday already. Since this weekend to now, we're up almost 2,000 points, about 1,600 points, okay? Now, if you look at this from Mustache, Well, that looks very, very, very similar to what happened back in 2020, right? It does look very similar. So are we preparing for that huge run up? The only difference is that was coming right after a halving event. We're a little bit early. We're not at the halving event yet, but we're getting closer. We're getting really close, right? But we're starting to see that uptick. And once it starts moving again, it's going to be phenomenal. All it takes is a little bit, maybe some more short squeezes, maybe a spot Bitcoin ETF approval, or maybe nothing at all. Just slow and steady growth until we hit that halving event, right? And that's when the parabolic phase starts. We're so close to that. Less than 6 months away, if you think about it. It's going to get very, very, very exciting. Very exciting indeed. And here's the thing. I just got done talking about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Who knows how high Bitcoin will be, right? But if you look at this, this shows you how early Bitcoin is in its cycle, yet look at where the price is already. We already had 3 halving cycles. We're about to enter the 4th. But what about all the ones afterwards? We still have a 5th, a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. By the time we get to 10th halving, there's basically no new Bitcoins that will be circulating. The halving event cuts the supply of Bitcoins being released in half every 4 years. This next halving brings it down to 3.125. Then the one after that, 1.6. Then the one after that is 0.8. The one after that is 0.4. Then 0.2, 0.1, then 0.05, right? By the 10th halving event, only 0.05 Bitcoins will be released per block. Think about it. It's going to get so scarce. And imagine the demand basically going up. You're going to have demand doing this and supply doing this. You know, you do the math. This really does a good job putting things in perspective. Like, hey, even though we have come so far, there's so much left. And I can't imagine, you know, we're all looking for next year and the next 2 years, right? But the halving event after that isn't too far off. That's only another 4 years. So that's 6 years. And then you put another 4 years, 10 years. That's the next halving event. Time moves really quickly, really, really quickly. So you don't have to just focus on this halving event. What about the one after that and the one after that? That's still within 10 years. That's why Cathie Wood believes right here, by the 5th halving, by 2030, she believes Bitcoin will be at $1.5 million already. By 2030, that's only 7 years from now. Well, it's actually less than 7 years. Think about that. All right. Moving on beyond Bitcoin news. I don't know why they're doing this. I guess it's good. Just recently, I covered how FTX, the new FTX, staked an enormous amount of Solana, and now they're staking an enormous amount of Polygon. So it does seem like they don't need to sell anymore. So they have extra assets. I don't know why, but they do. So they're not giving it back. They're staking it, which is quite interesting. So they did it with Solana. Now they're doing Polygon. I don't know what else they're going to do. But yeah, they are actually staking their assets right now. So that actually removes some fear from the markets, right? A lot of people know that FTX holds a lot of crypto. That's actually quite interesting. I don't know why, though. I don't know why. But speaking of Polygon, Polygon's co-founder urges ApeCoin to utilize their ZK technology and create their own chain. Now, why should they? Well, some of you guys remember ApeCoin and Yuga Labs are behind some of the most congested times for Ethereum, okay? Very, very. When the other side NFTs, the last collection that came out from Yuga Labs, it costed upwards of $5,000 in ETH just to pay gas fees. I remember because I minted 2 other side NFTs. I didn't pay $5,000, but I think I paid $1,000, $2,000 for the other one. And it cost me a lot of money, right? That's what a bull market can do, let's just say. So that's why they're urging them. And ApeCoin is partnering up with Animoca Labs. They're coming out of the Ape Accelerator. This is why Polygon's like, you know what? You guys don't want to break Ethereum again. You don't want to cause high gas fees. You want to start your own L2. So that's what they're pushing. But ApeCoin is doing their accelerator, basically trying to grow their ecosystem. So in case you guys are wondering about ApeCoin and Yuga Labs, this is the next phase. And also they're still developing their other side metaverse. Still waiting for that as well. And then lastly, I saw this. A lot of people on Twitter are talking about it. Binance US suspends all USD withdrawals. That's not a surprise. I don't know why people are saying or pretending like it is. Binance US already said months ago they want to go all crypto. They've been having banking problems because of the FUD caused by the SEC and CFTC, right? So today they finally decided to do it. So it was already reported, but a lot of people is making it out to seem like, oh, Binance is in trouble. They're suspending USD withdrawals. They said they would do this months and months ago, so it's not really a surprise. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's see. It's not too bad today. Well, NASDAQ is struggling. Down 1.25%. That's no good. All right. Let's do some Q&A. I don't even have CMC open. Look at that truck. Raptor Maverick, I think. Raptor Ranger. JC says, slow mode is brutal on this channel. It really kills the discussion. No, it doesn't. It actually improves the discussion by tenfold. JC, you don't know what the chat looks like when there's no slow mode. I literally can't see any questions. It just scrolls 1,000 questions per second. So, JC, you are wrong about that, my man. And why are you so impatient? I still see your questions. All right. Let me see here. Scrolling through. Todd says, Vitaliks seems like a good dude. A good dude with a huge wrench. Let's see. Do you still don't like render, according to Diego? Yes. I never did. I haven't changed. George, you're getting leaner. Thank you. I don't know if you could tell, I've only lost a few pounds, but thank you. I am trying to shed a lot more weight. Crypto boy, thank you. Does BTC always dump before halving? No, Leo. No, it doesn't. You know why it dumped last time around in March of 2020? Think about it. What happened in March of 2020? We had the COVID pandemic happen. Lockdowns and quarantine happen. That's why we had a big dip. If you look at previous halving events, we didn't have a dip. That was like the asterisk moment, like the one thing that, not even Bitcoin can withstand. Panic selling due to a forced pandemic. Question, doesn't it take a week for the paperwork to go through when spot ETF is approved? Probably, but they can announce it. They can announce it, right away if they get confirmation that it has been approved, right? Hit the weights, then the pounds will melt off. That is actually not true. I've gone through many of these cycles before, okay? Gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. It's all about calories. It's all about dropping the calories. Hitting the weights definitely has its advantages. You maintain your muscle mass, but I've gone through periods I lifted a lot of weights and it did not help me drop any weight. It just helped me get bigger. How did Cointelegraph site and BlackRock news go so wrong? I don't know. Their way of fetching data or fetching news is flawed. Some person managed to sneak into their group of editors and spread this rumor and someone ran with it. I don't know how that person found out what group that was. Maybe they were invited. I don't know. But yeah, that was a huge, 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 huge blunder. Well, Coinbase stock always go up and down in correlation with the crypto market. Yeah, it makes sense. If the crypto market is doing well, that means a lot of people are trading. That means Coinbase is making a lot of fees, right? That's what the market looks at. I mean, Wall Street, I should say. If we're in crypto winter and there's not a whole lot of people trading, then the fees go down, profits for Coinbase go down, hence stock gets sold off. That's why there's a correlation. That'll never end. Mary says Litecoin just 64 million or 84 million. Think about that. Well, that's 4 times more than Bitcoin. So think about that. There's really no, I hate to shit on any coin, but there's no valid argument why anyone would want to hold Litecoin. It's a copy of Bitcoin, so it's never going to be as good as the original. And all the stuff that you can argue about Bitcoin, like, oh, well, you could use it to transfer, between exchanges or wallets cheaply or whatever. There's others that you could do it with, like stable coins now, right? Like, so the argument for holding or using Litecoin just goes away. There's no good reason to hold Litecoin. If you want to store value, you go with the original, the best, Bitcoin. You want a coin that can transfer easily and cheaply, go with a stable coin. There's stable coins on BSC, on Tron, on Stellar, so like there's no reason to hold Litecoin. Is there a possibility for excuse me. Man, I got something in my throat. Is there a possibility for Bitcoin to drop 60 or 70% before the pump in the bull market? No. 0% possibility. I don't know why you would even ask that. You've been probably watching Data Dash too much. Tom Crown was in my chat yesterday, and I told Tom that he cannot be friends with me if he likes Litecoin. Howard asked, when do you expect a real spot Bitcoin announcement? I would say either in January or March. I think it's going to be pushed. The SEC will delay and delay and delay and delay and push until early next year, which is fine because that's right before the halving event. So think about it. If we get approval in January, that's only 3 months away from a halving event. If it's in March, it's only 1 month away. So, yeah. Tron might be the future, George. No, definitely not. As long as Justin Sun is there, no. I wouldn't touch any project that Justin Sun is involved with or leading or owns. Like that's honestly the truth. If you know his history, and I followed him since the beginning in 2017, man, he has effed up one project after another, after another, after another, after another. No. Man, Bitcoin is still very strong. 28.3. Man, we need to break 30K and stay above it, build above. But we're inching upwards again. You know, it's getting a little exciting again. It's been so boring. Even just like a 2,000 point gain now has brought some excitement, right? We need to build upon this. We just need a little push to get back up there. Aldo's asking about Caspa. I have no opinions about Caspa other than it pumps a lot. Everyone I've talked to have basically said it's like a cult-like environment, and people believe that it's the next version of Bitcoin, Bitcoin 2.0. That's all I know about it. Data Dash, Cowan, Gareth, all perma bears, wrong all year. I don't know, man. I know Data Dash has been, and he doesn't even have really good substance of why he's a perma bear, other than he's just projecting. Cowan and Gareth, I don't know. I have nothing against either one, but yeah, I mean, I've been told people, stop watching them or stop subscribing to their paid programs because they've been wrong so many times. I don't know why they're so bearish. Maybe the charts, whatever charts tell them it's bearish time. I quite simply look at what's so obvious right in front of our face. Okay, look at our money. Look at our financial institutions. Look at how money works, okay? Look at how broken it is. That drives people to Bitcoin. And look at our growing fundamentals. We have never had such high growth of addresses and holders and hash rate, right? Number of Bitcoin being held, exchange reserves dropping, everything, accumulation, everything. The fundamentals, we have never had better fundamentals than now, despite the fact we're not back to previous highs. Think about that. It's just logic, It's just pure logic. So if you understand that the financial system is broken, built on a house of cards, and then you plus on top of that, we have Bitcoin, which was created for people to opt out and get into, and plus the basically all-time high fundamentals while in a bear market, you put the two together and you realize this is time to be bullish, very bullish, ultra bearish. I mean, ultra bullish, irresponsibly bullish, because this may be the last time we see these prices ever again. Just like people that sat out when Bitcoin fell to 3,000, right? Will we see 3,000 Bitcoin ever again in our lifetimes? No, I don't believe so. After we hit 250,000 and come back down to like 50,000, 40,000, will we see 15,000 again in our lifetimes? I don't believe so. You know, it's just going to keep that. I mean, you can see it. It's just a stepping stone, right? Like this. We're never going to see previous prices anymore because our lows keep getting higher. We form higher lows and higher highs. And that's not going to stop with any halvings. This fourth one, fifth one, all the way to the 10th one by 2050. Hopefully, I should be around then, right? I don't know if I'm not going to be streaming by then. I'm not going to be streaming in 2050. I'm not going to be streaming for 17 years. But most of you guys, along with me, will be here. Bitcoin will be at like $10 million then, or 20 million, or 100 million. I don't know what it's going to be, right? And everyone living at that time can tell their grandkids or great-grandkids that I had opportunity to buy Bitcoin at 20,000, right? Or 28,000. Any news on X platform offering crypto yet? No. If there was any news, I would tell you about it, but there isn't. Everyone's waiting for Elon to announce something. Crypto payment, or just payment in general. Maybe a crypto wallet, maybe something with Doge. You know, something. We need something. DD told everyone that crypto may never recover, and now he's focusing on stocks. Yesterday, he said buy Gala and Doge. I don't know. You know, I hate to bring out the past, but Data Dash changed ever since the substratum controversy, and he got caught. Ever since that moment, he completely changed. And I believe that's the reason why he's still bearish, because of that. And Substratum went under. And I knew Substratum was a horrible idea. And the founder even came out and admitted that he was using company funds to day trade, because he thought he got outsmart the market, and that was a good way to make money. You know, that company went under shortly after.